It's Anthony Meisner and Jim Marion here with Front Range Facts. We're here to bring you your Colorado update for March, so let's dive right in.
Yeah, as we were saying in our national update, overall showing trends aren't all that great nationwide. However, here in Colorado, we're peaking, baby.
Yeah, things are looking good. We're about 36% above where we were in January. They've trended about 2% more than this time last year. It's a good sign, right? I mean, it means buyers are active and out there and involved in the market.
Well, and I think what's interesting, look at 22, right? The 22 had, more buyer activity, but there wasn't anything to see. So it's really cool that we've got 20%, there's instead of 36% increase, there was only 15% then. So a lot more activity. People are able to see a lot more homes on the market and make more sound decisions.
Yeah, it's a great sign for buyers. And we Americans moved in 2025.
Yes.
Not apparently to Colorado, which is really uncommon for us.
But it was only 4,600 people. They were all losers anyways. No, like those 4,600 people one bit. We didn't personally. They smelled.
But apparently everyone really liked Idaho and South Carolina. Yeah. And those numbers are staggering how many people got there.
In South Carolina, 80,000 people increased to South Carolina. That's a pretty good number of people for that state there. And
that's a lot. Yeah.
It's only getting hotter there.
It's true, but it is interesting to see.
Yeah.
The other thing here is salary needed to buy a home. So this one's kind of fun if you look at it.
Yeah, and it is a little bit information dense, but basically you need $154,000 in Denver to buy, the typical home. So the national average is $107,000, let's call it, that you really need to purchase a home, and this is defining it as 20% down, median value home. Here in Colorado, we're right about $600,000, I think, for median value. So, in order to afford that, you need to be making $154,000,
which is actually about $50,000 more than the national average, because you can see there $106,000 was the national.
Oh, and San Jose is like $460,000.
Yeah, good luck there, right?
Ouch. Yeah.
All right, Denver Metro apartment rents. Here's kind of where we've been sitting. You can see it by county as it's broken down, but you can really see just the fact that rents have come down a little bit.
It's kind of cool. Yeah, we're going to spend this slide, next slide, just talking a little bit about the rental market. A lot of our clients are investors who are doing this, or just in general, people who hold multifamily units. They have, on average, because there was so many apartments added, about 15,000 were added 2 years ago to the market. It's had a downward trend a little bit on prices, so taking a little pressure off folks to give them money for, the fuel costs that they're now spending more on or other things.
Absolutely.
And the vacancy rates have also risen accordingly. So, it's cheaper to get into an apartment. There's more of them. Therefore, there's more vacancies.
Yeah. So. Denver Metro, they built a lot of apartments in the last year, and it's really starting to show. Basically in 2025 or the end of 2024 is where we really started to see this increase. And it's largely due to the number of units, right? There's just so many more available apartments.
And, this is like apartments specifically. So, single family homes is pretty static, overall, but, that's why you're seeing some pretty good incentives when it comes to some of these apartment complexes where maybe your first month's rent is free or you get your 13th month free, other things like that, you're seeing more of than you used to.
All right, so how's that affecting everything, right? I mean, you can see this, that, pendings under contracts because of all that extra showing traffic is up 14% in February, which was a great number.
It's fantastic.
Really exciting to see that. The number of homes on the market is also up 5%. Mm-hmm. So there's been plenty of pent-up sellers that are putting homes on the market, and buyers are being able to take advantage of that. But because of that, right, it's actually creating still a vacuum on pricing. We're down about 2.6% on the median sales price for price. The average sales price, same thing, minus 2.6%. And that's largely just due to the fact that there's so many sellers, more than buyers, even with those increases, right?
But the inventory of active listings down 3.3%. The month supply of inventory dropping 6.5%.
These are good signs.
And these are signs that, if you're a buyer, don't get too cocky. There's certainly some things where, we're seeing sellers just rather not sell, pull the home off the market. And I just yesterday, I was one of 3 offers. I lost out on a house, and that's going to happen, folks.
The good stuff is definitely one of those. Now, there's a huge flip side of the coin here, because the townhouse condo market is still seeing a lot of cracks in it, right? It's just the buyer demand is not there. Right. Single family homes, it's very clear that people would like those. But the condo townhouse market, I think this is largely due to a lot with the apartment market, right?
They're very much hand in hand.
They're very hand in hand. And the under contracts are exactly like they were a year ago, which has been pretty depressed anyway. So 1,500 of those, that's fine. Sales are down about 9%, which is really causing some issues. But interestingly enough, in the last month, prices didn't decrease.
The price decrease has certainly arrested. A year ago, we were looking at 8-9% drops in prices. So this is much better.
I don't necessarily know if they're quite done yet, but we definitely are clearly getting closer to the bottom because we saw some ugly numbers in the past. But it is taking longer to sell. 88 days in the market. It's almost 19%. And if you look at the month supply of inventory, it still is rising.
It's 2 months more to sell a condo than it is a single family home, basically, right now.
Right. So it's very clear that if you can, people would prefer the single family home. And with all the other things that have kind of stacked up against affordability in townhouses, we're just not quite there yet, but we're getting closer.
Yeah.
Median sales price, I mean, you can see the gap here, but interestingly enough, the single family homes were down 2.6%. The condos were only down 0.4%. So we've seen a real stabilization in the median sales price. If you look at active inventory, what's going on here, Jim?
Well, I mean, it's pretty much flat compared to last year. Just slight differences in it. 3.3% less from this time in February last year. But we're in kind of probably that downward trend, and I expect it probably starting to go a little bit back up as the summer stretches on. Homes don't sell. We have more active listings on the market that are just needing to find a buyer.
Exactly. And days on market until sale, so this is from the time it goes active to the time it's sold, is sitting somewhere around 78 for single family, 88 for condo townhouse. But you can see that number's been rising for quite a while now. It seems like we're kind of getting back into maybe some more normalized amount of time on market.
Yeah.
We haven't seen these kind of numbers since about
2019, 18.
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of interesting. So keep your eye on that, but honestly, it's going to trend down the rest of the year. It's through the middle of the year because this is the slowest time of year to sell.
Now, this is the dead patient heartbeat we always show, distressed sales. And, clearly they're not that bad. But, one thing that, we both have observed is we've been showing this slide for a year at least or 2 years, is just the fact that lately in the last few months, every time we show this, the percent of REOs, which are bank-owned sales or short sales, has really been jumping up. It's still mediocre. It's still very small amounts. It's going to be very rare for you to find one of these deals in the market. But
a year ago, we were at like 6.
Yeah.
And we're in 30, 40 now.
So there's certainly an upward trend of it. And just looking at, where we were like this time last year to this time this year, it's doubled for short sales. It's, 75% increase for REOs. So it's moving up. Again, it's peanuts in the grand scheme of things, but something we're keeping an eye on, and there are some more of those happening.
So I'm Anthony Meisner with Land Title, and this is Jim Marion with Coldwell Banker. We do, Front Range Facts, and we have a national update that we put into 3 different segments this month. Tune into some of those. We have lots of good information for you, so please reach out to us if you ever need anything at all. And we'll see you next time.
Take it easy, folks.